Library databases versus Google. They're both good to use in your research. I'm UMGC librarian Robert. Let's compare library databases versus Google in terms of searching, content, and evaluating information. Searching. In library databases, we use Boolean searching, a special way of combining keywords with and or. If you've taken the UMGC class Libs 150, then you've learned about Boolean searching. You can also review this important skill on the library website under Research Help. In Google, we use natural language searching. Simply type in a question or a phrase or a few keywords. Here's an example of a Boolean search in the library database OneSearch. We combined keywords with and, or, and other Boolean techniques like parentheses. Again, you'll find tutorials on our library website to help you review library searching skills. Here's the same search in Google using natural language searching. Let's talk content, what you can expect to find in library databases versus Google. Library databases have content like journal articles, ebooks, and sources for background reading, such as encyclopedias. In Google, content comes from websites. Nonprofit websites and .coms all contain useful info depending on your research topic. This is a broad generalization, but as a librarian, I tend to search in the library to find in-depth analysis on a topic, the kind of analysis you'd find in scholarly academic articles, for example. And I'll frequently use Google to find more practical information and quick facts. Here's an example of what I mean by in-depth analysis versus quick practical info. If you want in-depth scholarly medical studies about sprained ankles, search the library databases. But if you've got a sprained ankle, you're going to consult a health professional, and you can supplement their info with trusted medical websites found via Google. Speaking of Google and quick facts, Google is a great tool for checking the truthfulness of information. If you hear a news story and want to know if it's true, you can often verify it by Googling the topic or by using various fact-checking websites. Again, comparing content in library databases versus Google. Let's say that we're researching the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. In the library, we find scholarly articles and ebooks. These are in-depth examinations of specific aspects of Dr. King's work and thought. Using Google, we're linked to websites with useful information on Dr. King, as well as images, videos, and even transcripts of his speeches, which can be used as primary sources in your research. You can see how library databases and Google complement each other. By using both, you can conduct effective, thorough research. Always evaluate information for credibility and accuracy. Information in the library databases is largely trustworthy. That's because it's already gone through a review and publication process by a scholarly journal, for example, or a book publisher. But as you know, anyone can put anything on the web. So when using Google, be especially careful to evaluate the information you find. You can review how to evaluate sources in the Research Help section of the library website. Questions? Please be in touch. The UMGC Library would love to hear from you.